Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This week, honestly, it feels like we've seen some really seismic shifts, shaking up the whole world of raw materials and resource extraction.
Yeah, definitely. It's been, quite the period. We're looking specifically at the mining news highlights from July 13th through to the 18th, 2025.
And we've got quite a bit to sift through.
We do. We've pulled from, Reuters, CNBC, Skillings Mining Review, plus a few different industry analyses. The goal, as always, is to cut through that noise for you and deliver the critical insights.
Figure out what's actually going on with how we get the stuff we need out of the ground.
Exactly. How the world extracts its essential resources right now.
Okay, so let's unpack this week, because the range of stories was just wow. I mean, you had huge tech players making big strategic moves, Apple, for instance.
Right. The $500 million into MP material.
Yeah, the top U.S. rare earths producer.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like just, a simple investment. It felt very much like a move to lock down their supply chain.
Definitely a localization play, national security, reducing dependency. It ticks all those boxes.
But then on the flip side, you get these sort of geopolitical tremors.
Yeah.
Right? Like Zhangvi Mining suddenly halting lithium production in China.
Uh-huh. And that immediately caused lithium carbonate futures to jump, 4%?
Yeah. Which, that tells you something about market sensitivity. Those are the contracts for future delivery, so people are betting the price goes up.
And that state interference, it throws a wrench into predictability, doesn't it? It's not just about Zhang losing output.
No, it forces everyone else to rethink their risks.
Every multinational has to look at their geopolitical exposure. You might see more diversification, sure, but maybe less efficient supply chains overall. It's that classic tension.
Economic efficiency versus national security playing out right there.
Exactly, in real time.
And then just to make things even more interesting, it's not just stuff happening on Earth. I was really struck by how asteroid mining seems to be, getting some fresh legs.
Astroforge. Yeah, announcing progress with their robotic prospectors.
Right. You see this little spike, like 15%
Yeah.
in Google searches for it. It feels like it's moving from pure sci-fi.
Slowly, maybe, but moving. So when you put it all together, the big investments, the government actions, these off-world ambitions, what's the through line? What does it signal for supply chains, for investment?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Well, I think connecting the dots, the week really hammered home this intensifying global race for critical minerals. That's clear. But alongside that, you're seeing changes in how mining gets financed.
How so?
It seems to be shifting, away from just straight up traditional debt. We're seeing more royalty and streaming deals pop up.
Right, where investors get a cut of future production or revenue.
Exactly. And also ESG-linked bonds are becoming more common. Better loan terms if you hit certain environmental or social targets.
Which isn't just a finance technicality, right? It feels like it changes the risk calculation.
It really does. Maybe helps smaller miners get capital without giving up too much equity. And investors get commodity exposure without running the mine themselves.
Makes sense. And speaking of capital and confidence, Africa.
Yes. That Namib Minerals announcement, $300 million pledged for gold mines in Zimbabwe.
That feels significant, a big signal of renewed investment interest in the region.
It really does. It suggests maybe capital is becoming more willing to go into areas that were perhaps seen as higher risk before. Could be a new wave of opportunity there.
And tying back to the geopolitical stuff we mentioned, those trade tensions.
They seem to be pushing investors towards mining ETFs.
Right, those funds that bundle mining stocks or commodities like Venex Rare Earth, Global X Lithium.
Yeah.
They hit multi-month highs.
It shows people are reacting, trying to play these shifts. Retail money, institutional money.
They're seeing these tensions not just as risks, but maybe as drivers for certain commodities, hedging bets on that localization trend.
Precisely. It looks that way.
And it's not just money and politics. The tech side is moving incredibly fast, too. These real-time mine monitoring systems.
Oh, yeah. From companies like Hexagon Mining, MineSense. They're becoming baseline now. Essential for optimizing things, for safety, for bringing AI into the workflow.
It feels like every single piece of the mining process is getting a tech upgrade.
It absolutely is. And then, circling back to the more out there stuff, asteroid mining, it's kind of fascinating how it's nudging into serious talk.
You think? Less science fiction now.
Well, with the U.S. showing policy interest in space resource governance, suddenly getting platinum group medals from space, maybe it doesn't seem quite as far-fetched as a long-term source. It's entering the conversation, at least.
Okay, so pulling this all together for you, our listener, what this week really shows is just how dynamic and interconnected everything is in mining right now. It's a lot.
It really paints a picture of an industry dealing with huge forces.
You've got that intense global race for critical minerals. You've got government stepping in unpredictably.
You've got finance models evolving, new capital flowing in different ways, like into Africa.
Technology fundamentally changing operations day to day.
And even these once speculative frontiers like asteroid mining starting to look, well, a bit more serious.
The main takeaway seems to be that all these separate threads, they're actually tightly woven together. It's all part of this global scramble for resources, and it's changing the rules.
Yeah, the whole landscape is shifting.
So here's something to think about. Given all these rapid shifts, the earthbound challenges, the geopolitical chess games, the off-world ambitions, the new money models, how is this massive global hunger for resources going to reshape economies? And maybe, just maybe, redefine what mining even means in the very near future?